all I can say is that Ruto must go because he does not deserve to be a president of this country. He does not deserve to lead a citizenry like this of ours. He does not deserve to lead this country. He does not deserve to represent us in the Committee of Nations. One reason that Ruto must go is that he has exhibited incompetence of the highest order. He has exhibited blatant violation of the Constitution. He must go because he has never ever sworn to defend this Constitution. I doubt whether he actually knows and understands the content of this Constitution. That is why Ruto must go. And we are saying he must not go in 2027. He must go now. Any day that Ruto continues to hold the office that he purports to be holding amounts or it's tantamount to an insult to our intellect. It's an insult to our patriotism. It's an insult to our ability to be Kenyan. It's embarrassing that we are associated with him. It's embarrassing that he purports to represent us. And we are saying we must keep this fire burning, because the moment we put off the candle, the moment we put off the fire, Ruto thinks that he has won. We are saying that whatever he has done in this country as being exposed is mutilating the future, our future, and even the future of our children in what we call intra and extra is basically mutilating our future. We must keep on asking ourselves, if our generation does not take up the mantle to make Ruto go, what will happen to my child? What will happen to my son? Who will gonna speak for him? So in my view, if I am told to walk tomorrow, I walk. If I am told to run tomorrow, I'm going to run. If I'm told to shout from the rooftop, I am going to shout until the deaf hear that Ruto has no space in this country. I am one of the biggest proponents of the doctrine of constitutionalism. But we cannot advocate for constitutionalism when you have a president who has never read this constitution. Remember, in 2010, Ruto led the No campaign. He has a lot of contempt for this constitution, and that is why he never supported it. So we must rise up and claim our rightful place in God's kingdom. We must continue to speak loudly for anybody to hear that Ruto is a puppet for the West. And we cannot afford to sell our sovereignty to Mr. William Ruto. We cannot afford to watch him sell our sovereignty. So I have so many reasons that makes me believe that time for him to go is ripe, and that we must march for those people who cannot speak for the voiceless, shout for those who cannot speak. We must walk for those who cannot walk. We must tell Ruto that we shall not watch as we ruin our future. So yes, I endorse the 13 thematic areas that makes us believe that William Ruto must go. But most importantly is the one of the sovereignty that is a puppet for the West. We must tell him that we have noble men and noble women in this country who are capable of leading.
And the reason why Mr. Ruto, not even Mr. I think I don't even need to use any term to address Ruto. Ruto is a looter. Ruto is a killer, and we are witnessing it with our bodies. We are paying it. We are paying the ultimate price as Kenyans. And the reason why I'm here to talk to you as young Kenyans. Any opportunity that you can get, any space that you get in, kindly do the service to humanity by making sure you inject some civic education. I'm in every space. I'm in every place that is advocating for for civic education. Kasmuel, you're doing a good job. Willie Weber, you're doing a good job. And everyone else that I'm not mentioning, Ndegwa, I see the work you're doing and it's amazing. What I'm telling everyone is now let's do the action. Right now it's time to act. So that day when we'll say Ruto must go as a we'll say Ruto must go, we'll say Ruto must go as a nation. As we are speaking, there are things that we are working on with Kasmuel, the petition that we are working on. That is one front. Kasmuel is working among other things. Other things that I'm working on is the translation of the odious debt. Currently, I have 63 translators. We've done, the Luo is done, Kiluya is done, the translation of Kiluya is done, the Kiembu translation is done, and the Meru translation as well is done. We are packaging on that to make sure that it will be available. I got 63 guys that who volunteered to work with me. I volunteered my company to do the animations and the visuals. And what I'm telling the rest of the youths is right now it's time for action. You meet 10 people in kwa barabara, tell them what is happening. Tell them why Ruto must go. Let's not just say Ruto must go online. When we get to such spaces, especially huku kwa mtaa, kwa streets, be it in the village, sit down, talk to our parents, and talk to them nicely so that they can understand why we are saying Ruto must go. So, lastly, I'll say, guys, let's keep up with the movement of Ruto must go. And again, if you're out there and you also like to support my translators, the guys that volunteer to do the translation, come to my DM. You be in the US, you be in Europe, you be in Kenya, and you want to support them, kindly come to my DM and we continue the good work. Kasmuel, thanks for the opportunity. Will you ever jump in?
Thank you very much, Wakili, for not Wakili, Kenya, for what you're doing. Every Kenyan who's listening, this has come to the time. And I met Kimanzi because we've been working on a petition together, and he's been very gracious, and he's held spaces to push for the representation of the youth in the IBC selection panel and the IBC panel, and that's what people saw last week that was misconstrued. We were just following up that petition at Millie Odhiambo's office because now she sits in the House Business Committee. And for us to win these things, we need to follow it up with the people who sit in these very specific committees in the House, so that now we know exactly if these things are working, this is why they're working. If they're not working, who we need to follow it up with. Thank you very much for the good work you're doing, for volunteering your company. I know it has not been an easy year for you business-wise, but you're doing your best to ensure that we liberate our country, and may history remind you kindly. Bwana Willie Oeba, the man enters, the man of the hour, enters the mystery, enters the legend. Please take it away, sir.
Wow. What an introduction. Thank you so much, my bro. Thank you for the amazing work that you're doing. My name is Willie Oeba. I am a spoken word artist. Kasmuel, thank you so much for hosting the space and for the injection opportunities that you get. You represent too well. Thank you so much, everyone. Yesterday, I was called for a TV interview, and I realized the mainstream media, the legacy media is compromised. Right now, when you go for an interview, if you mention the name Ruto, if it is a live link, they are given 8 seconds, and then they will delay. The media has latency for the live link, so they delay after 8 seconds. If you mention anything negative, so the CAK guys have pitched camp in the mainstream media, and now you cannot mention anything against this government. It's so bad. So I do pieces on social justice. I started doing pieces on social justice in 2017 after I was nearly shot in Nakuru. So in Nakuru, there is a gang called Confirm, whereby I was a case of mistaken identity. And from that moment, they say when a gun is put on your head, if they don't kill you yet, then you live as a man who has nothing to lose. So I started doing pieces on social justice. And when the protests started, I was in New York for a fellowship, and I had to be in Kenya. So I came, and we organized in Nakuru. And I was pretty much surprised because Nakuru, in the past years, Nakuru has been always calm and very complacent to the regime of the day. But now it is very vibrant. And as we say, Ruto must go. His branch is in Nakuru. We're also saying Kihika must go, and down with all the governors that are corrupt, down with corruption, and up with accountability. So tomorrow we are releasing a piece. It's called "I'm Offended." I'm offended too. Small Lethal featuring Nonini and I. And the purpose for this is documenting the struggle. Let it not be forgotten. Let our comrades not be forgotten. So it will be dropping tomorrow at 8 p.m. And the idea is to revolutionize the mindset and to spark the mind that will change the world. So here goes the piece. Justice system imeamua reverse roles. Sasa wanaita judge my lord, alafu God is my witness. Na justice inaenda na bei ya kuongea na mwananchi ni bubu. Hao viongozi wetu ni maluza aluminium, si baada ya kukopa wana steal. This goes out to a government that doesn't care after elections. We are now treated as others. Out to a nation that talks big lakini kifika kwa implementation it stammers. Experience is the best teacher at Wezi learn. Our education system imeprogram kuwa crammers. Jesus na the 12 disciples walikuwa fishers of men, lakini vile tuna insist on kupanda mbegu tadhani walikuwa crammers. Out to moms wamekataa ku take care of their kids, watoto wanapata inspiration kwa hip hop za Eminem. Ona sasa, martial mothers. Hii nchi ni crime scene. Vijana wana kazi, na viongozi tuliandika kazi wanatuambia tusome tujiandike. So dear Mr. President, the same students will promise paid internship 2017 ndio the same graduates offer wheelbarrow empowerment 2024. Zima hiyo kitu. If we took a shot for every public lie we make, we'll be having a drunk nation. Your speeches are great, but I wish you spoke in fluent action. So sad people tasked to deliver the nation wako busy campaign for the next election. If the kids ask, nita explain aje former DP na mse wa bodaboda wa boat hustlers. Kama ni kulead, afadhali wana Israeli wanapelekwa kushoto na Moses, huku tuko na Kuria. Chicken seller amekuwa big fish. Kwa ofisi zenyu something is always cooking, but si mwananchi na dish. It's high time kufunguliwe koti za maskini na tajiri juu kwa hii relationship. Wananchi ndio wabish. Justice is never served. Juni ndio wapish. Na kwa ballot conversations zetu haziko candid. Kweli, sisi voters ndio mangombe nao politician ndio mabandit. Justice system inajaribu reverse roles. Sasa wanaita judge my lord, alafu God is my witness. Na Gladys anakuja kutuambia vile judiciary fail. Same place she was boss. Surely, hapa, the accused that a witness death their witness before a witness against them. After corruption case double tragedy, some of the commission of inquiry in employment opportunity for their corrupt families' useless bodies. Now the chief government pathologist is a pathological liar. If grabbing land is not enough, Yala River na Kware ndio kuna true water bodies. Other than finding ways za kututax, hakuna kenye mnafanya kwa hizo maofisi. Hata the elephant in the room haina task, na ni the executive iko na the lion's share. Ruto must go, because during his reign, the youth were one bullet away from being a hashtag. Talk is cheap. Fortunately, citizens cannot buy that trash. Wako $1 away from the poverty line. IBC ndo iko na price tag. Our moms wako one demolition away from kulala njaa to kulala nje. Makanga always one police stop away from kulose another finje. The middle class wako one disease away from poverty, and every level of governance is a step away from humility. There's nothing to smile about when I know I am one stray bullet away from being a statistic. Na degree ni makaratasi tu. Now to put food on my mama's table, I have to be sarcastic. Nasema Kenya, life ni short, na siongelei kinyasa. Na akaunti ya mwananchi ni empty kama promises za mwanasiasa. The president is talented in the art ya contempt of court. The law is very clear. His conscience is not. Ruto must go.
Ruto must go. Aye. Thank you, Comrade Oeba, for always injecting